Hi there, I'm Noah Bradley and this is Handmade House TV. On this week's episode we're going to talk about chainsaws and log cabins, and particularly making those huge massive holes into our log homes, such as the door openings, window openings, and of course the fireplace opening. So stay tuned. Often log homes were built with window and door openings and chimney openings more or less in place as the home was going up. But nonetheless, there are plenty of examples of log homes that were built with the logs solid on all sides, and then as the family would want and need the openings that would go into the future home, the owner of the home would just pull out a saw and just basically cut the openings. This cabin, when I originally built it, I had one door opening into it, and I just guessed at the size of what that opening would be. But here on this particular cabin, I really didn't have a door in mind, and now that I know what the function of it's going to be a log shed for me to store my tools in long term. I wanted to, and I found a vintage door to go into it, and I realized that the opening needed to be a little bit larger, and it needed to be a little bit taller as well, because I put a permanent wood floor system in place. And so merely what I did was just a matter of marking the both sides of the door, putting plumb lines exactly where I would want. And so I took care of enlarging the opening on this particular side of the cabin. But here around back, I did not have an opening at all on this. And this cabin is tiny. I needed to add more space to it. And so I wanted to add a little bit of an addition to it. And so I needed to cut an opening between that addition and the log cabin. And once you create the marks of where the opening is, you need to then install some temporary jams, or as I call them, stickers, on both sides of the opening, holding back a few inches. And then you just spike large nails into the jam in place, and I typically would like to use duplex nails. They're easier to pull back out, and that holds everything in place so that once I've made the incision, once I start cutting the logs, that it doesn't just collapse on me. And then I start the chainsaw up. Now, I'm a big fan of steel, and I can say that if you're looking for a chainsaw, you cannot go wrong with a steel chainsaw. But I really can't insult Husqvarna much at all, because I know probably half of you guys are Husky fans as well. And what it really comes down to is that first saw that you buy, that you use, that does a really good job for you, that proves out to be dependable, which both brands are, then that's probably the one you will develop an affinity. You're most comfortable in using it. And when you're using a chainsaw, you want to be comfortable with it. It's not a machine that you want to be an enemy with. You want to respect it, and you want to be good at it. So basically, it's just a matter of starting the chainsaw up. Now, typically, once I get the chainsaw started up, I'll make sure and give it a good rev or two, pointed in a direction other than the cabin I'm working on, and that is because it never fails, there's an accumulation of a little bit of oil on the chain, and we don't want that first splatter of it going full speed to go onto our logs. Well, that's everything for this week in creating a hole, an opening into your log cabin using that most precious tool of ours, the chainsaw. Before we go, I would like to thank 5 new members of the Handmade House Guild, which continues to grow, especially now that folks are aware that the opportunity to join the guild is coming to an end. This package, this everything I've created now and everything I ever will create is coming to an end. We invite you to join us in the Guild, but for today I would like to thank 5 new members of the Handmade House Guild, and that would be Jimmy Kennedy, George Seaman, Ishmael, Rebecca Gose, and Rudy DeLeon. That's 5. Yes, it is. Okay, 5. Thank you very much, guys, for joining the Guild. We look forward to seeing you in the forums where with the brand new forums that we put together. I'm loving it. I love all the interaction going on in there, and I'm answering all of your questions. Phenomenal questions. So many thoughts and questions you guys have that I never realized really to think through and to share with you guys. So it's helping me by you asking those questions and by being able to answer them there on that new forum. So anyway, you guys take care here on Handmade House TV. I'll see you next week where we're going to work out the jams, where I'm going to show you how to install jams in the best possible way on your log home. Anyway, you guys take care. We'll talk to you then. Bye now.